and do big waves out there. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, depending on where you are. It's kind of a confusing time, not quite sure what to say. But I will say that I am so grateful that you are here with me. So a little background. My name is Andrea Rosser. I've had the privilege of being a part of Partner Co since the very beginning, and I've been blessed by this industry for about 15 years. And my heart is absolutely for helping people because I was helped. So I came to this industry incredibly broke, really, really needing this to work. And I needed somebody to hold my hand because I had no idea what I was doing. And it was a brand new thing for me. And so I'm so grateful I got that. And so it's my honor to offer some of that hand holding to all of you to help you get started on your journey here. So, with that, I'm going to add a little caveat that I am going to make some assumptions in this Zoom. So, I know what they say about making assumptions and what assuming does, but we got to make some. So, the main thing that I'm going to assume is that you already have boards downloaded on your phone and you know how to use it. Okay. And if you're saying, what is boards? How do I use it? You're not familiar with it. If you have an iPhone and you're opening up boards to use it, well, that means you don't exactly know how to use it. So if that is the case, then we need to have a connection. And so if you are struggling with boards, like Marianne, sounds like you're struggling because it's available to everybody. Sounds like we've got a little bit of a struggle there. And so, what I'm going to say is that we need to have a separate conversation, either with your upline. I can help with that. We can figure out a way to help you get situated so that we can get boards working for you, because that is really, at this point in time, boards is the backbone to this business. So we want to make sure that you are comfortable with that. So I'm going to make that assumption. The second assumption I'm going to make is that your boards might look different than the boards that you're going to see on this screen. Okay. The boards that I'm going to show you guys is the one that I created, and it's very generic. Okay, it's good for any team, doesn't matter whose team you're on. And so you might be part of Dr. Crystal's team or Ashley Paulson's team or somebody else, and you're like, my board looks different. That's okay. You have some added stuff, you have some different stuff for your team. Just know that they all work in the same way. So don't worry if yours works a little bit different. So if everybody's good with that, then we're going to go ahead and get this started. And at the end of this Zoom, I believe. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it in the waiting room or in the chat right now. So if you're saying, I don't have boards, I need help, I need some help in that direction, I just put my phone number in the chat. Okay, now I'm not saying that I'm going to be able to get everybody, and please don't text me during the Zoom because I'll lose it. All the texts that are going to come in here, I'm not going to see till after, and it's probably going to drop down to the bottom of my phone. So just shoot me a text and say, hey, I need some boards help, okay? And we will figure that out with you. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. Now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So bear with me here for just a quick moment. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that. And I'm going to scroll down. Okay, so Gina, I can see you on my screen. So you are in the hot seat now. Glasses off. If you could just let me know if you can see my screen share, just give me a little thumbs up if you can see it on there. Okay, phew. All right, just making sure it's the hardest part of our day. So this is our getting started training. We're going to actually do two today. You may or may not stick around for both of them. One is kind of our basic, you're brand new, and then one is going to be more advanced. So if you're already gold and ultimate, you're a little bit to the next level, you can stay for that, but you're not going to hurt my feelings if you jump off. So just bear with us. The first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is professional mode. Now, why is professional mode on Facebook important? It allows us to be consistent. And with this entire system, the more consistent we are with our posting, the better off we're going to be. And I don't know about you guys, I am a forgetful little monkey. And so I'm like, oh man, I didn't post today, or I didn't post this week, whatever it is. Well, professional mode is going to make that a lot easier for me because I can schedule my posts. So what does that look like? What does professional mode look like? When you go to your profile, this is mine. And when you go to your profile, you're going to see three little dots right under the information that you have. Now, yours is going to look a little bit different because you're not on the professional dashboard, but that's okay. Click on those three little dots. It's going to open up a menu for you, and you will see an option on yours. It's going to say turn on professional mode. You click that, it's going to give you some suggestions. So it's going to say, change your profile or connect with your followers. There's going to be some steps that Facebook is going to want you to follow. Follow along with that, right? Follow along with that, and that's going to help you get this set up. Now, let me add another caveat here. Not everybody is going to qualify for professional mode. I don't know how Facebook decides who gets it or not. I'm not Facebook. I wish I was because, my bank account might look a little bit different. But just know that sometimes you're not going to see this option. If that's the case, go Google, how can I get professional mode if Facebook isn't offering it to me? And it's going to give you some suggestions. Okay. So that would be a suggestion there. Now, when we talk about professional mode, I want to add something in here. Part of our system is to post twice a day. And around that, we want to do some things to grow engagement. One of the downsides of professional mode is we can forget to do the things that allow us to create engagement. And we can kind of forget. We forget to go check for our comments. We forget that the post is out there. So you might want to still put some reminders in your phone to go play on Facebook in some very strategic ways that we can talk about that is going to help grow that, even if you are in professional mode. So, next step is to get our resources, to grow our toolbox with everything that we need here in order to have success with PartnerCo. And you can find all of this in a couple of different ways. First of all, you could take a screenshot here and our phones magically turn these links back into links. So even though you can't click on them because you're on a screen, if you take a screenshot, you should be able to recreate those links in that photo, copy and paste so you can go find all these links. But then we also have a shortcut. So if you're on my board looks like the little star next to the slender eyes. You're going to see a start here section. And we're going to talk more about this in the advanced portion. But in this start here section, it's got all of these as links in there as well. So if you do not have this start here, if you don't have the starboard and you want to see it, whatever it may be, my number again is in that chat. Text me after and ask me to send you the start here section, and it will walk you through all of this. Okay, so text me after and I will get you all of that. But what are our resources? What are the tools that we need? Well, first of all, boards. We need boards. I don't care if you're on my boards, a Roland team board or a James Zhang team board or whatever, does not matter. You just need a board installed that has the content for you loaded on your phone. And if you're on one of those other teams, go ahead and message one of your upline and say, hey, get me the link for boards, and they will help you with that. The next one is Telegram. Telegram is where we let you know what calls are coming up. So today we have this call now at noon or 10 a.m. depending on where you are. And then we have a call this evening with Coach Palmer, kind of a team call at 8 p.m. Central. How are you going to find out about that? Well, we're going to share it with you in Telegram on the communication channel. So go ahead and join that. Make sure you keep your notifications on so that you get those notifications. Next is Circle of Health. This is a Facebook group. It's run by Dr. Crystal Vance. This is a group for you and your customers, your droppers. And the focus of this group is to help all of us maximize our success on the drops. And so this group is for, let's say, you've got a new dropper and they are struggling with what to eat for breakfast. You can search in there and search breakfast ideas. You can look for, how to overcome whatever, problem the person may have. Go search in that group and go look for it. Now, I'm going to add in here that every single person in there is either a brand partner or somebody else's customer. So we want this to be a beautiful, positive, safe place for all of us. So when you're asking a question, I would just add that ask it in the way that you would want your customers to see that question. Because you worked really hard to attract your customers and you brought them into that group. And if I ask a question in a way that's kind of negative, I could scare somebody, right? Oh my goodness, I have a screaming headache. I know it's the drops, it's horrible, blah, blah, blah. Well, some people might be afraid. They struggle with headaches. They might be afraid to um, start the drops. But instead, if I need help with that, if I search for it, that's the number one way. But if I need help for that, I can say I just started on these drops and I'm worried that I've got a little bit of a headache. How do I deal with this detox symptom? Whatever it may be, right? So you can kind of hear a little bit of the difference on how I'm asking that. I'm going to tread really carefully because I want to make sure that I'm respecting. Barbara worked really hard to get that customer to put them in there. I want to make it that that person is in a safe space. So again, with that, there's no business talk in here. There's no money talk in here. There's no network marketing talk in here because this is a customer group. Now, if you've got questions about the business, we're going to move over to Partner Co Nation on Facebook. And so that is our business focused Facebook group. And the main goal of that is we want to love on you in there. So I want to make sure you're in there. And I want to make sure you get your team in there because as people go ultimate, as they achieve team lead and senior team lead and beyond, we want to celebrate them. That is what Partner Conation is really for. We want to answer the questions that you may have. And then we also want to make sure that you are getting celebrated. So make sure that you are in Partner Conation, you're being a part of that group, and you are celebrating other people in there as well. Next resource is the Partner Co Share app. Some people use this all day long. They get to their back office through it. You can do a variety of things. I'll tell you, I go to the internet to go to my back office. I think I like the functionality that way a little bit better than in the Share app, but I love all the tools in the Share app. So you can find flyer templates in the Share app. You can find the PDFs on all of our products on that Share app. You can get training videos. You can get all kinds of stuff in there. And so I love looking at the tools and so I can learn a little bit more about what Partner Co has to offer in there. So those are kind of the things that we want installed, the groups we want to join already. Now the second line is some things that I would love for you to tune into. So one is the Coach's Corner. Coach Palmer and myself, we run that every single day or Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. And it's a little bit of positivity to kick your day off right. So if you're looking for just a positive resource, mindset shift, just a little bit of goodness to kick off the morning, join us. We're going to pick a word of the day that a lot of times you're going to suggest to us, and we're going to do a little lesson on it and just sing you happy birthday and just 15 minutes of positivity. Okay, so that's the Coach's Corner. The next is the IPA Zoom. It says 30 minutes. I think it's probably 45 minutes now. So I'll have to fix this slide in a future date. But this, the way I describe it, is your cheat code. So I've got a teenage son. He plays games. And so he talked, especially when he was younger, he would talk about cheat codes. Oh, I want a cheat code for this, a cheat code for that. And it's the thing that allows you to maximize your success in an expedited process. That is what the IPA Zoom is. So if you can only plug into one thing, and even if you have to cheat, like, you put a little earbud in and you hide it because you're at the office, I would say it's worth it. Don't get in trouble, but if you can be on there, because what you're going to hear is people that did something that allowed them to win in their business today, they're going to share it with you tomorrow. And so if I do something on social media that allows me to attract 5 customers, I'm going to tell you about it. If I do something out in the real world that allows me to create a conversation that I get a brand partner, I'm going to tell you about it. So that is what it's for. So guess what? We get to learn from all of the success that people are having. So we don't have to do things the hard way. We can do things the easy way. So that is every single day, Monday through Friday at 9:15 Central Time, and usually runs just about until 10, maybe a couple minutes over. But even if you can only jump on for 10 minutes, jump on, get what you can, and then get out of there. And then lastly, Wednesday Wisdom. This is a weekly team call. We just started back up again this last Wednesday. Coach Palmer, myself, we go on there and we interview people a little bit more in depth that are winning. So if somebody is rank advancing, if they're helping a lot of people on their team rank advance, they got their savings bonus, they're just winning. And we want to know how they're winning so we can win too. We're going to invite them on there. We're going to interview them so that we can all learn and get better together. Okay, so that's our resources. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to do a social launch. And what this looks like is we're going to make a personal post first, and I'll give you some instruction on that. And then we're going to go on to boards. There is 6 weeks worth of content on there, and we are going to post twice a day. Okay. So that first personal post, what does that mean? What do I want there? I want your face. It's Facebook. We want to see you. So it could be you and your family, you and your dog, you and your breakfast. I don't care. But I want to see you in that first post. And then I want you to write a little bit of your truth. So if you go into boards, it's going to give you an example. It's kind of what I did for my launch post, which was something along the lines of, hey guys, I've decided that I'm kicking middle age to the curb. This is the year that I'm going to get healthier than I've ever been before. And I'm looking for a little bit of support. So if you'll support me, give me a heart, give me a comment, follow along on my journey, maybe even join me in it. Okay. Now it's worded a little bit better there on boards. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but what we're doing is we're introducing your followers to let them know that you're doing something different so that tomorrow when you start posting the before and afters, they go, oh, this must be what Marianne was talking about. She said she was doing something different. She said she was starting a new journey. This is what she's doing. Then it also creates incredible curiosity because we're not going to tell them that we're doing drops and we started a new company, blah, blah, blah. We're not giving them any details. We're just creating curiosity because we are all nosy. I want to know what Barbara's doing. Like, what is going on in Kathleen's world? I want to see. And so I am more apt to follow along. Go look on your page because I'm nosy and I want to know. Okay. So we're going to start with that personal post, and that is key. So please make sure you're making the personal post before you go into the boards posts. And let me tell you, I know that's hard. Okay. I know that putting yourself out there and putting something personal on Facebook, it doesn't have to be crazy personal, but putting yourself out there on social media when you never have before is hard. So give yourself some grace. I just saw this. I don't know if you guys can see my screen at all, but I'm holding up a book. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Let Them. It's Mel Robbins. I just started this a little bit ago. And just a couple days ago, she talks about this is Mel Robbins, right? Like world famous speaker, blah, blah, blah. She talks about just a couple days ago how it took her 2 years to make her first social media post when she was desperately needing to let people know that she had a business because it's scary. So it's universal that this is scary. Give yourself some grace and go do it. Okay. Don't give yourself some grace and don't do it. You wanted something here. Go make that first post. So that was a little harsh, but said with love. Okay. So go do that. Then after that, we're going to use the boards posts and we're going to post twice a day, 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. in your time zone. Oh, I don't know. Well, we're going to ignore the text under there. Why do we post twice a day? This creates the ability for more people to see your post. Only 1% of your audience is going to see the post at any time. So if you put it at different times of the day, hopefully that's a different 1%. And then also it creates kind of this artificial viral feeling for people where they're like, oh, I've seen this before. It must be real. Repetition is key for everyone. Think about the shopping you've done on social media. If you haven't, we should probably talk because you can tell me how to stop shopping on social media. But I shop on there all the time. But I don't buy it the first time I see it. I buy like the 10th time I see it. Okay. Because I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. and it starts getting a little bit of credibility in my mind, and then I will make that purchase. Okay. We're trying to create the same thing with our people. Now, sometimes I'm going to talk about two things on the boards. Are the posts professional? No. Are they, do they look clean and shiny and like an advertisement? No. Is all the verbiage perfect? No. Is it professional? No. That is all intentional. The typos are intentional. The rawness of it is intentional because our brains can tell the difference between an ad and our friends. Think about when you scroll, you just go by the things that are ads. Not for you, not for you, not for you, unless it really catches your engagement. But your friends, you slow down. The realness catches you. These are designed to look like regular Facebook posts, not advertisements. So sometimes we'll see people and they'll get real fancy and they add the sparkles and they make it all whatever. And guess what happens with their sales? They go down because they look like ads and their friends say, they're just selling me something. It's no longer real. Same with the scripts. There's emojis in there. There's typos in there. There's language that if you were being a professional, you probably wouldn't use. But guess what? When you text your best friend, it's how you text them, right? Have you ever gone back to look at your text message to like your sister and you're like, what was I even trying to say there? It's half gibberish. Well, we're not trying to be gibberish, but we're trying to have that rawness about it so that it doesn't all of a sudden look like a sales pitch. This is you chatting with a person. So use the scripts. I know that it might not sound exactly like you, but use them because it's designed to be very authentic. Okay. Now, as soon as you get a customer, we're going to add them to Circle of Health. We're going to add every single customer to Circle of Health so that they're part of our community, so they know how to win with us. So it's not just you and them, they're part of something bigger because, as we say, we're better together. And it's harder for me to leave a support system than stop a product. So if they have that support, they watch Dr. Crystal's Let's Get Started video, they understand how to use this product, they're more apt to win and they're more apt to be a part of our community. And that's what we want. And then we are going to follow up weekly with those customers with a little bit of love. Okay. So what does that look like? That's what we're going to talk about is our customer flow right here. Grab a screenshot of this, take some notes because this is the most important part, maybe, of what we do. Um, what do I want? I want to sell drops, but that's because I want to create a raving fan. I am not here to earn $80 on a box of drops. I'm not here to earn $100 on a box of drops. I am here to grow an empire. I am here to grow a business that's going to pay me tomorrow, not just today. So I love the today money. Don't get me wrong. I want to attract all these people. I dance in my kitchen every single time I sell a box of drops, still to this day. But that is not the point. My point is to attract that customer. Then I'm going to create a raving fan, and then I'm going to partner with them in my business so that they are not only today money, but they're tomorrow money and next month money and forever. And not only for me, but for them and their family. And how do we do that? Well, we bring them into our community and we love on them consistently so that they have success and become a part of our network. So the minute I get somebody a box of drops, I ship all of mine. I don't care where you are. You could live 5 houses away. I'm shipping it to you. Okay. I do everything through pirateship.com. You can find a tutorial on how to do that on boards. But the minute they get that box in their hand, so not the day I ship it, the day they receive it, I am going to send them the getting started text that's on boards and then the three-way text that's on boards that introduces them to my support person. Okay. Now, why? Again, I'm making it bigger than just me. They're more apt to respond when somebody else is in the mix. And it's kind of like our kids, they behave better when there's another adult around. Our droppers are no different. And so if they have a problem, they're more apt to ask and listen to the advice of that stranger that's in there with them. So I'm going to introduce my stranger, my three-way partner, my accountability partner, however I want to call it, in that three-way text the minute they get those drops. The scripts are on boards. And week one, scripts on boards, is I'm going to problem solve. Okay. So I'm going to send them a very blah message that's like, hey, just checking on you, how those drops treating you. Okay. Why? Because I want them to be honest and real with me. I'm doing this with my three-way person. Okay. It's in that group text. And I want them to write back of, oh my gosh, I've forgotten to take them. I haven't taken them a single day. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I can help with that. This is what I do. I set an alarm for every, breakfast, lunch, dinner time in my phone so that I'm sure that I'm getting them in, right? Or they are like, I got a little bit of a headache. Oh, sugar, that's because you're detoxing. We need to increase that water. Remember, at least half, bare minimum, half of your body weight in ounces a day. Okay. Whatever problem they may be having on that week one, I am going to problem solve. So I've got to make sure that I am messaging them at least week one. And I'm going to tell you, this is the bare minimum. Okay. If you can lovingly reach out with little tiny supportive texts every single day, do that. But make them short, make them upbeat, and make them solving a possible problem for them. Okay. We're not pestering people, we're loving on them, and we're giving them the information that they need. Now, by week two, I'm going to celebrate because I problem solved week one. I'm going to have some wins by week two. And so I'm going to use the win script in week two that you will see on boards that's like, all right, tell me the good news. How are you benefiting from these drops? Again, I'm setting them up for the answer that I want. We all want to make people happy. Okay. So if I ask you, what do you think? Then you're going to get real analytical and you're going to give me the pros and cons. I don't want that. I want the pros. So, how are you winning? What are the benefits that you're getting right now? And so they'll typically say something like, well, sleeping a little bit better. I've got more energy. I'm not craving sugar at night. I've only, doesn't matter the number, they always put just or only in there. I don't know why, lost 7 pounds, but I'm feeling pretty good. Okay. And that's when I'm going to send them the win script. Win 1, 2, 3. Again, all of this is with my third party person. So they're hooting and hollering in there. And it's a woohoo, congratulations. Doesn't it feel great to do something good for yourself? And I know you're going to want another box of drops before too long because consistency is key. Let me know. Do you want to get another box from me? Do you want to save some money? Or do you want to save and maybe even earn? And if you want to save or earn, when's a good time for us to talk? Morning, afternoon, or evening? And then we're going to get them on a Zoom with our three-way person. Now, let me add a little there. Am I going to say, when can you talk to my upline on a Zoom? No, because they're going to think we're going to sell them something. I'm going to send the script. They're going to say, I can do tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm going to say, perfect. I'll send you a reminder 10 minutes before. I don't talk about Zoom. I don't talk about upline. I don't talk about business. I don't talk about any of that. I just follow the script. 10 minutes before it's time for us to talk, I'm going to send them a Zoom link. Okay. Everybody has Zoom now. My parents have Zoom and they're in their 80s and they even know how to use it. Okay. So everybody, that's the blessing of COVID is it taught us all how to Zoom. So that's not so scary for people. They have 10 minutes to update their app if they need to, if they haven't used it for a minute. And then at that time when it starts at your set time, you're going to bring them on. You're going to bring your third party validation on there. You're going to introduce them. And this is the person that's been cheering you on for the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks. I wanted them to be able to celebrate with us. And we're going to have a very casual, connecting conversation. We're going to walk through the conversion slide deck on boards, and we're going to let them choose what level they want to be involved. It makes no difference to us. They could get a box from you. They can get a 4-pack. They can get a 10-pack. They can get a 30-pack. Does not matter. we're going to let them choose. Okay. So we're going to do that on week 2. Now, let's say we get to week 3. We had nothing to celebrate week 2, so we had no reason to get them on a Zoom. Well, week 3, we're going to be a little bit more direct. So, we can ask them for the win and we can repeat the process from week 2 if they have one now. Um, or we can just say, you're almost at a drop, so you're ready for another box. They say yes, then we send them the reorder script, the 1, 2, 3 reorder script. Okay. And then we would repeat that same process with our upline, and we're going to get them on that conversion Zoom. Okay. So that's kind of the customer flow. Now, let's say we get all the way to week 4 and they didn't respond to a single text week 1, 2, or 3, or they hated everything about it and they don't want any more, or they loved everything about it, they lost all their weight, they will feel fantastic, they don't want any more. Perfect. I am going to leave them in love. Okay. So I'm going to say, fantastic. So glad you got all the results you wanted. Stay in circle of health so you can support people on their journey, because we want those quick success, right? Maybe they hated everything about it. They're like, I want to eat Twinkies every single day, and they are nowhere on the approved food list. Okay, then I'm going to leave them on love. There's no script for this because this is going to be a little bit different, but I'm going to say, I'm so sorry that Twinkies and our drops are not compatible, but stay in circle of health, because maybe you'll find that one tip that's going to help you get where you want to need or want to be. Doesn't matter, but stay there. Because why do I want to leave them on love? Because we never know what's going to happen. About every 30, 60, 90 days, people decide that they want to try again. And if we're a safe space, if we felt good to them, then they'll come back to us in the future. And I cannot tell you how many people I've had come back to me after they didn't want to do it anymore, or they got the results, or they didn't get the results. So just leave them in a positive place so they know that we're safe to come back to. Okay. So that's our customer flow. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share, and I'm going to stop the recording.